deal. Dismus, very quickly, what are your views on this? Is the deal in limbo from where you sit?
Well, one wants to identify with what Senator Amos Waka has indicated. There are Kenyans that have been waiting for the last 4 weeks to see what Ambassador Martin Kimani and Paul Mwangi are going to bring to the table. And Kenyans are very expectant. It's as if President Kenyatta and Raila Odinga gave Kenyans a check.
Yeah.
And Kenyans want to take this check to the bank. But before they do that, they want to be sure that the check is not going to bounce. And that raises so many questions. That was this deal structured to serve the interests of all Kenyans, the cumulative interests and aspirations of Wanjiko or Akinyi, and in my case from Kisii, Mura, or it's serving the interests of these two powerful personalities? And in the last couple of weeks, there have been media reports that, in fact, Mr. Raila Odinga has been given a motorcade, is enjoying the benefits, which approximate the benefits that the deputy president or president is supposed to be enjoying. There was a story in the local media that he now enjoys a 6-car motorcade, and the wife has got 2 cars, and then there's a probability of him joining the ranks of the people like Mbeki at the African level, or Lesegun Obasanjo at the African level. So one wonders that when this conversation was taking place, was it...
This brings into sharp focus those questions you raised on that day when we were speaking about it, saying, is it about Kenya or about an individual? Yeah,
because you see, I mean, we cannot ignore the fact that Raila Odinga is an enigma, is an institution, and is an idea. People have invested a lot of resources in him. I know a number of my friends who took consumer loans to finance his campaign. You can talk about Baby Pendo. You can talk about so many people. So they were hoping that when Raila goes to negotiations with the president, they were going to be part of that process, that they were going to get dividends. But right now, as the case is, it seems that it's only Raila Odinga who is a beneficiary. Because Kenya being a very fluid political space, 4 weeks we expected Ambassador Kimani and Paul Mwangi to tell us
things to be happening.
How we are making progress.
We'll get into more details of this later. I don't want to get too much into it. Let me just get your very quick views. Mark, there seems to be lack of progress in this deal.
Seems is the right term, because I cannot imagine that Paul Mwangi and Ambassador Kimani would be given such a responsibility and they stay at home doing nothing. It would be quite embarrassing for people of that stature to actually have done nothing with what Dismus has aptly called a blank check for the Kenyan people. And it needs to be emphasized that this is probably, for me, one of the most important documents that we came up with as a country, because the issues detailed there actually do need to be handled. They form what are the ills of Kenyan society. And therefore, I hope I'm speaking to Ambassador Kimani and Paul Mwangi when I say this, that it is of utmost importance that they do come up with a status report, even if it's not a full document. One of the things that PR advocates for is you must always have a progress report, a statement simply saying, this is how far we are going, this is what we are looking at, these are the challenges that we have. Otherwise, in a vacuum, as they say, usipojipanga utapangwa. So before they tell their story, someone will have told a different story.
All right. Hesbon?
Well, I think without being, looked at as being disrespectful to the people who lost their lives in the struggle, I must say that there is a clique, there is a good number of Kenyans who have benefited from it as it is right now. Guys who can go on with their businesses, the mamambogas of this world, the artisans who kept on being disrupted in their businesses because of the demonstration. And that group has actually benefited this far. But there is a critical group, basically the salaried employees, the middle class, who are still looking at the nitty-gritties of this handshake. And it is this group that is calling on to the two individuals who have been tasked with the responsibility of framing the issues to do that as soon as they can do it. But I also am alive to the fact that it is a complicated thing. I mean, signing this agreement and articulating these issues, providing a framework that works, is not an easy thing. It's a lot more complicated, and I guess it requires a lot of time.
All right. Mutinda, could there be a lot happening, behind the scenes?
I would believe so, because like Dismus has correctly put, then these two gentlemen had a job, and they must be somewhere doing it. But the truth of the matter is that the issues that they're dealing with are quite sensitive, and probably sometimes there is some push and pull involved before they can agree on a common position, and probably that is what we are seeing. But it would be important for the process to go to its logical conclusion, because the Kenyans are very expectant and are very supportive of the whole initiative. And if you noted something about Amos Wako, is that he was saying that by 2020 we should be through with this before the 2022 election fever catches up with us. And I think I'm supportive of that opinion, that if we wait for that long, then we will be looking at the 2022 elections instead of looking at the issues that we need to deal with. So the earlier, the better. It would be my position, which is supportive of Amos Wako's position.
All right. Interesting.